Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to 12 News at Noon. I'm Tracy Koenig. We start with some breaking news for you. A chemical explosion has been confirmed at the West Lake Chemical South plant in Sulfur. This video coming to us from our executive producer, Valeria De Leon. Officials say a tank of ethylene dichloride exploded. We're monitoring the situation as we continue to learn more. We will keep you updated on air and online. The March 1st primary election just around the corner now, and the deadline to register even closer. But don't worry, the process is a simple one. For those registered in Hardin County, you can pick up a voter registration form at the county courthouse in Kuntz. And we go right now to our 12 News reporter, Christiana Ramos, for more on the registration process.
Hey, you, are you registered to vote? The deadline to register is January 31st. You need a Texas driver's license or the last 4 digits of your social security number. Fill out an application online at www.votetexas.gov or make a trip to your county courthouse.
Come in, we have voter registration applications on the counter and they get those, fill them out. We accept them right then and start entering the information and mail their card to them.
Double check your forms for any mistakes. If you're already registered, you should still check the status of your registration before the deadline, especially if you've moved out of the county you first registered in.
Make sure they're current, make sure they're not on suspense, and to see their voting precincts.
If you're mailing in your registration form,
as long as it's postmarked by January 31st.
In 2020, Hardin County had 39,952 registered voters. Now,
Hardin County has 40,813 registered voters as of yesterday.
82.62% of those voters voted early. But if you're planning to vote early this year, keep in mind there's no longer 24-hour early voting, and voting locations have changed. The information on your screen can be found on our website, 12newsnow.com.
Other documents you'll need at the polls, they're on your screen. One of them is a driver's license or a handgun license, a U.S. passport, or a military ID. And we have all of this information for you on our website. You can also text us the word VOTE to 409-838-1212, and we'll send a link right to your phone. Developing in Power City, union representatives are meeting with ExxonMobil right now. Brian Gross telling 12 News the union committee met yesterday to discuss their proposal to get members back to work. The biggest sticking points remain safety and seniority. Nearly 600 union workers have been locked out since May. Now, sticking with the ExxonMobil lockout, Texas gubernatorial candidate Allen West is coming to Beaumont to meet with United Steelworkers Union. And West is meeting with the members at 2 o'clock at Luke's Ice House. And he says, quote, "It's a difficult situation, but I am always willing to hear and learn about the needs of voters." He is currently holding a town hall question and answer event right now at Luke's until 1 p.m. West is the former Texas Republican Party chairman, a past Florida congressman, and retired U.S. Army lieutenant colonel. All right, taking a look outside this afternoon, courtesy of our Roofing 911 Sky Cam, and it was a really cold start this morning. It's warming up a bit. Beautiful outside, still a little chilly though, Jeff.
Yeah, we're seeing temperatures right now trying to get up into the 50s, and I think we will be up into the middle 50s later on this afternoon. Let's see where we started out this morning, and temperatures were cold. We were back into the 30s all across the board, right at the freezing mark there in Jasper this morning, and then we were generally some middle to upper 30s here around the Triangle. Port Arthur, 36, 39 in Orange, and we dropped to 37 in Beaumont. Quick check of the allergy index, heavy on tree pollen for today. Nothing to talk about as far as weed or grass, and mold is on the low side. The rest of the day forecast calling for temperatures in the middle 50s by 2, 3 o'clock. We fall back into the upper 40s by 6 and then lower 40s by 10 o'clock. Expect another cold night with temperatures in the 30s as you head out the door on your Thursday. Not much rain in the forecast through the weekend, but we do see some rain coming back into play as we head towards early next week. We'll look at that in our 7-day forecast in just a little bit.
It is a junkyard out in the front yard.
Enough is enough. City leaders cleaning up parts of Beaumont which they say are almost forgotten, and now dozens of buildings are up for demolition. Property owners are asked for more time for fixing things up, so the city giving them a chance to complete some of their projects, but there's a deadline for them to meet. Owners are being given 150 days to clean up their properties. If they don't, the city says it will demolish them. Chris Boone is the city's planning and community development director. He says this is one of the more difficult parts of his job.
Many of our structures are aging, and then you have the storms on top of that, and so we have, you know, a good amount that we have to look at and again prioritize, but we try to do this about 4 times a year.
The city says most of the owners have had multiple extensions to complete their projects. They didn't show up to the meeting last night, so leaders are moving forward with demolition. Now to a crime alert coming from West Orange. 2 suspects arrested yesterday after a drug bust there. According to Detective Sergeant Medina with the Orange Police Department, police searched a home at 11 Park Place in Orange with narcotics search warrants. Police arrested 39-year-old Kevin Gardner and 55-year-old Izzy Mitchell. Both were charged with possession of a controlled substance within 1,000 feet of a school. And new at noon, a manhunt coming to an end. Capital murder suspect Oscar Rosales, seen right here, was arrested in Mexico in connection with the shooting death of Precinct 5 Corporal Charles Galloway. Police say Rosales opened fire on the corporal early Sunday morning when he was pulled over. New developments coming from the Texas synagogue shooting earlier this month. British police say they have arrested another 2 men in the investigation into the hostage-taking incident. The men were being held for questioning and have not yet been charged. This comes more than a week after a British man, Malik Faisal Akram, took 4 people hostage at the Congregation Beth Israel Synagogue in Colleyville. Akram was eventually killed by the FBI agents. All 4 hostages were able to escape unharmed.